Hey, what's up, everyone? We're here back again for Too Easy Tuesday on Burn Your Boats with me, Matthew Stallion, your host. So this week, what's too easy? What are we talking about? It's momentum. All right. So when we're talking about momentum, I'm really trying to focus on getting from that one task to the next, but without that mental drudgery that comes there with having to stir up that energy to get the next thing going. And the thing is, for me, getting to the next task once I've started something is significantly easier, especially or even with things that I don't want to do. I had a bunch of different paperwork, administrative type of things in my personal life that I needed to take care of. And for me, it depends. So it's easy to say, to throw a blanket statement and say that you should do things this way. You should do things. If you're doing a bunch of things in a row that you don't want to do, you should start off with the easiest thing, so that way you get the sense of accomplishment, and then I can start the progression and the momentum to be able to get the next thing done and get the next thing done. And that is absolutely a way, and it can absolutely work. And do I use that? Yes, I use that all of the time, but not every single time. Sometimes I will take on the absolute hardest task first. And other times it's time dependent. Sometimes though there will be a not super easy or not super difficult task that just needs to be done first, and so that's what's got to happen. And so here's a little behind the scenes kind of branding and marketing tidbit that I've picked up over the years, and it's that people are more drawn and attracted to those who go outright and say this is the way, because that it instills confidence, and it allows us to follow somebody that has a clear vision, and that's important. It's important to have clear vision, because then it does allow a shared, that clear singular vision allows more easy to share that vision, and you get that shared vision amongst the group, and you can all work collectively towards that. But in reality, and when it comes to your life, things are not that simple. There's a lot more nuance to it. So for me, I have to really sit and be a little introspective with myself and really consider where am I at right now mentally with this, because the same exact approach will not always work for me when I'm trying to accomplish something. So I have to look and sit and really feel it out and just kind of say it in my mind. And so I'm gonna do this first, and because it may be the best way. A great example of this is Dave Ramsey's program. If you're not familiar, Dave Ramsey's financial advisor. I don't know if that would be his technical title. Really, really big financial advice giving person. And I've gone through his Financial Peace University kind of training course. And it's all about elimination of debt and everything. And it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal course. But he gives very stringent guidelines that says you will do it this way. So specifically when talking about eliminating debt, you will eliminate it by the smallest amount owed, and not by the largest interest rate, which is commonly what is asked for. And his thought process with it is kind of like what I referenced earlier, in that if I have a $500 debt and it's got a 6% interest rate, but I have a $55,000 debt and it's got a 23% interest rate, attacking that $55,000 debt, because that's a higher interest rate, will save me more money. And so, by the numbers, it will be more effective it will be more financially sound doing it that way than if I went of the $500 debt first, because I'm only paying 6% interest. Like, it's almost nothing compared to the 23% interest on the $55,000 loan. So how much money am I going to save if I take that first? However, Dave Ramsey's thought process with this is, it's kind of about momentum, and it's about attacking the problem while addressing the fact that we are human. And as humans, we are emotional first and then we're logical. Because if it was as simple as the numbers, nobody would be in debt anyway. But it's not about numbers, it's about emotion. And so he talks about that, and he makes it clear that, or at least illustrates clearly, that you will have the momentum, you will have encouragement, and you'll have a feeling of accomplishment and that satisfaction that we had talked about before when you knock out that $500 deck, because then it's gone. It is gone, and then you can take that amount and you roll it over into what he calls it, that snowball, and you snowball it into the next biggest one. So if you have an $8,000 one, now you're taking the amount that you were paying into the $500 one, you're paying it into the $800 one, or $8,000 one, and then you're going to take that once those are paid off. Then you roll that into the eventually down to the $55,000 one. And you're building momentum back to the purpose of this Too Easy Tuesday. And so that works. That makes sense, and it makes sense, like, energetically, which is the thing that matters the most. And so for me, I usually use that kind of thought process when it comes to attacking anything. What's going to give me that little victory where I'm going to get the momentum and get the ball rolling? But sometimes that isn't necessarily the best way for me. So I've really addressed it. So I had a couple of different packets. One of them, it was smaller in size. It was like 10 pages of information that I needed to fill out. But then I had another one that was like 20 pages to fill out. But the 20-page one was all really super easy admin data, and the 10 pages one was really in depth, and it was going to require a lot of research, of going and looking up accounts and account numbers and contact information and all this different stuff that was not just ready at the front of my mind. And so, but for me in this particular time, it was less important for me to knock out the larger packet that was going to take significantly less time to do. I really wanted to attack it from the larger, more significant one, and to get that done. And it worked for me on this one, because I knocked that out, and that took me like 4 or 5 hours, and I got it done. And once I got that done, then I was able to go shopping. And then after I went shopping, I went to the gym. And after I went to the gym, then I came home and I filled out the second packet. And then I got laundry going. And like all of these like stupid bullcrap stuff throughout the day that we all have to deal with just started getting knocked out after I got that first really difficult one done. And I had that momentum. And each thing that I was doing, like, there wasn't that initial mental drudgery to overcome, to get past. And like it was there for the first one. I sat down and I was like, man, I could just watch some Netflix. I'm just about done watching this show. And I was like, nope, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do this. And once I did that, then just the energy that was there to get the thing done. But you have to take that first step. And it's so cliche. Yes. Like the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. The cliches exist for a reason. And so, and it's all about the energy. It's all about what moves you and what shifts you. So sometimes, for me, cliches work really well. And sometimes they don't. And sometimes a certain strategy works really well, and sometimes it doesn't. And so, it's just, for me, I don't like to get bogged down in, like, this is the way that it works. I like to work from the premise of what works. What's going to work right now? Maybe what worked last time is going to work amazing again right now, and maybe it's not. But taking the time to think about it and to feel that can make a difference. So do that. Give yourself a little bit of time just to see, especially when you have a bunch of things that you need to do. just see what feels right, and go with that. Don't go with something just because this goes into like several different logical fallacies. Somebody that I know who's really awesome does it this way, and so I'm gonna do it that way. And so like it's the you're doing it just because an authority figure has done it, or this is the way that I've always done it. I always do it these things in this order, and so I'm gonna do it that way. And maybe it's not gonna. Maybe it worked really well like that in the past, but just because of where you're at mentally and emotionally now, it'll work and it'll just be less effective, and you actually would have been significantly better off doing it a different way. So take the time and just think, just be with yourself, and and give yourself the time to be different or be the same. Just be the best, and just listen to that inner voice inside that is kind of guiding you and pushing you to the place of what feels right and what makes the most sense. And give that a shot. And I think if you do, life will get a little bit easier. Love you guys. Thanks for always coming back. We'll see you here again tomorrow for That's What You Get Wednesdays. Love ya.